What's going on, my outlaws out there? What's up, man? What's going on? Josie checking in. JSN. I appreciate all the outlaws out there. How y'all doing today, man? How y'all doing? I want to get to it, man. Hope everybody's day going very well. Hope your day going well. Hope your day going well. I'm out here with my Adidas flip flops, man. I'm in Georgia. Everybody wearing Crocs. What I hear. Now I don't see it. I'm a little bit South Georgia, but a lot of these zesty fellas is I heard is wearing Crocs. Is that okay to wear? Let me know in the comments. Can you wear Crocs as a man? But I hear that's what they wearing down here. Now put in there in the comments. Can a man wear Crocs? That's what they sporting down here and down south. Crocs. Pretty soon they're gonna be wearing the fuzzy slippers out these piece, right? Well, anyway, let's get to it, man. I want to touch about a few things that's going on in the media. For instance, if you did you hear about the baby? Now, right now, there's never before seen footage of him shooting someone. Now, I know around town they were going around saying that it was self-defense. That he was using his right to protect himself. Now, I'm going to give you my views on the whole situation, but I did put the video in my community section. So check that out and let me know what you think about this situation. Now, I'm not a fan per se of Little Baby. Not a fan. I am a fan of hip hop, though. I am a fan of hip hop. Been a fan since '88. Shout out to my bro, God rest the dead, Supreme. He used to rap, and I had to watch. I had to watch TV because when I was a kid, I couldn't. That we had one TV. I don't know if anybody had one TV when they were growing up in the '80s, but we had one television screen, and I wanted to watch Smurfs, and I had to sit there and watch UMTV raps. My brother rapped. He was a very talented guy, and that's when I realized about fell in love in hip hop, if you will. So, but one thing I will say is in hip hop, there's always been a gangster vibe, if you will, a gangster vibe. And what I'll say is, so many people got murdered or killed someone. We can go way back to 1987 with Scott LaRock. Anybody who don't know Scott LaRock, he was with Boogie Down Productions, and he was murdered. He probably was the first guy Scott LaRock was murdered, shot and killed in his neighborhood trying to help. So we could go all the way down the line with uh he was the first though. He was with oh man, what's the rapper on the top of my head? Karis One. And he tried to break up a fight and got shot. So many rappers. The first two recorded rappers who was shot was from New York. And there was, this guy named Stretch was killed. I think he was hanging with Ed Lover back in the day, and Tupac. He was killed before Tupac. He used to run with Tupac, and I believe they had beef. He got killed in '95. Tupac, obviously, and this is why I bring this up because the baby reminds me right now of Tupac. This has been seen before. Very erratic. Don't care what you say. Don't care what you do. Fight on the drop of a dime. That's what's going on here. Many people was killed. You know. Uh, Big L was killed in New York City. A lot of rappers was killed in New York. J Master J, Freaky Ty. Anybody remember Freaky Ty? Freaky Ty was on the Lost Boys. Big L, like I said, oh, so many names, so many names. Soldier Slim, I remember Soldier Slim. Mac Dre was killing it in the West Coast. Soldier Slim was with he was with Master P. Proof, which was killed in his neighborhood. You know, he was with Eminem. How many people remember that? Put one in the chat if you remember that. So many rappers. Recently, Atlanta rapper Bankroll Fresh was killed. What's the XXX extension or whatever his name is? He got killed in 2018. And there's a theme. Jimmy Wapo from Pittsburgh, Nipsey Hussle. You know, we all saw that on video. King Vaughn. Actually, Mo3. Once he passed away, I was listening to his work. And a lot of these rappers, they make like what did Biggie say? You're nobody till somebody kills you. And a lot of these rappers I didn't even hear of until they passed away, and then I listened to their work. And I'm like, wow, they were pretty good. Recently Draco the Ruler got killed, and this is the worst because Draco the Ruler got killed when he was doing his show. Now this is the first time they got killed on the show. Now, I see a theme with DaBaby. I really do, and I hope nothing happens to him. He's getting in too many fights, too many skirmishes, and he uses gun. Like this is why I say he reminds me of Tupac because people don't know this, but Tupac shot somebody before. He shot two off city police officers, right? And I don't know. This kid out of he was I did a little research on him. He's from Cleveland, but he grew up in North Carolina. I don't know if his parents were there or whatever, but he is very erratic on how he moves. Very erratic. Now, like I said, this video. If you want to see the video, is in my community section. You can definitely check that out. Go on my YouTube page and check it out. You let me know what you think happened. Now, from my point of view, it looks like DaBaby charged him. DaBaby went after him, and then they got into a physical altercation. A physical altercation. And then I didn't. You don't see the victim. Well, I call the other guy the victim. Passed away allegedly. Well, that's not alleged, but he passed away. But then you'll see DaBaby pull out his gun and shoot him when he was not a threat. You see it right there, just in the middle of Walmart. So I am very confused on how this guy got off. And he's still doing it. He just shot somebody recently, and it was, I mean, the way it sounds, it was warranted because somebody, I believe, went into his house allegedly or tried to come in and he shot him. But he's a very cocky little guy. Scary. Scary, man, because we're losing a lot of these rappers. Like someone says rapping is the most dangerous profession right now. When you're rapping, you go to these rinky-dink clubs and all these dudes waiting to see if what you're saying on these records is true. You remember when Rick Ross tried to perform in, I think it was Detroit. He tried to perform in Detroit, and Trick and his whole crew stopped it. The cops couldn't even get Trick out of there, and Rick Ross had to go home because he had to pay a tax. I remember hearing the first really big hip hop concert was in California. and they had a big ticket. They had I believe LL Cool J was on there, Houdini. It was a really big ticket, and the Rolling 60s went to that concert just to fight. So it's definitely a dangerous situation. This is the baby pointing right there. Let me take this off the screen. Let me take the overlay off the screen. This is the baby right here. Now, if you're here for the first time, definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. But this is the situation where the baby got into a fight, an altercation with I believe the guy was another rapper. Let me know if he is, but the baby's over here starting a fight. Now, he's a little guy and he got this concept about him, complex, but he punches the guy and then his team and his security beats him up. This is where we're at here. Some of these people think they can't be touched. Some of them think that. Kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it? I saw this before many a times with Tupac. Tupac was like this. You know how most people say, I'm the Tupac, I'm this, I'm that. Like they said, I remember Jesse Smollett say he's the gay Tupac. Well, Tupac was out here fighting. He was out there getting into it. You understand what I'm saying? Fighting everybody. If you didn't go with Thug Life, or I think it was the thing that was tatted across his chest, he was going to beat you up. There was a guy named Sam Snead out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He was one of the first real rappers to make it out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sam Snead. A story with Tupac. He was. It was around the East Coast West Coast beef, and Suge Knight stood up and said, "Sam Snead, we're looking at your video, and you don't have any East Coast, so any West Coast dudes, and there's all East Coast dudes." And Sam said, "Well, I offered Snoop to come and everybody else to come, and nobody came to it. Here we go." So Tupac got up, jumped across the table, and punched Sam Snead, and the Outlaws beat him up. The Outlaws beat him up. All right. So then the next day, Sam Snead, the rapper out of Pittsburgh, if anybody remember, I think you better recognize. They had a dinner because that's what Suge Knight always do. Suge Knight will come in there and act like he'll give out turkeys, but he'll beat you up on the side. You know what I mean? Like he does good things, but he does really bad things as well. So after they beat up Sam Snead's face, you almost could not recognize him. They had an event for ladies the next day for single mothers at death row, and Sam Snead had to show up. So Sam Snead is beat up, looking around. He got a plate of food, and he ain't eating nothing. He's looking suspect out there because what Tupac did to him in the Outlaws. So at that moment, they said they never saw Sam Snead again. He got the heck out of Dodge on the West Coast. But this is the baby. This is what the baby is doing. This is who he reminds me of. If anybody want to sit there and say I'm the Black Tupac, he is the Black Tupac. Look at Tupac. Now this is when Tupac was beat up by the police in 1991 when he was becoming radical. Tupac's been locked up so many times, and it's crazy for Tupac. Tupac did a lot of things in that little bit of time, from 1991 when he did Juice and Brenda got a baby, all the way till he passed away in 1996, and got shot in 2 years prior to that, and went to jail. See, the universe always you get what you put out. And Tupac knew he was going to die the way he was carrying on. He was talking about thug life, thug life, thug life, till one of them thug life dudes shot him. And then you never heard him say that after he got out. He was actually kind of paranoid. And then when he got out, he put all that music out because he knew he wasn't going to be here. He had nobody to trust. But he was about that life. He wanted to die. Can you imagine if Tupac was alive today, how his social media would be jumping? But he was this character that we saw before. We all saw this with this DaBaby guy. You get what I'm saying? DaBaby has been in the news, locked up for a while. His rap sheet is extensive. No question. And it's really a shame because, like I said, he's very, very talented. I was listening to a little bit of his music. Not a big fan of him, but he's really skilled at what he does. But so many rappers have died or went to jail. A list of rappers doing time because they act like him. See, Murder been locked up. He was like that before. He was putting in his lyrics. Max B. Anybody remember Max B? So many rappers just ruin their lives on this BS, and I could just see it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Share the screen here. Uh, but here it is. Here it is. Look at the list of people locked up. Max B still ongoing. What basically happened with Max B? A hotel robbery gone bad. According to the feds, Max B wasn't even at the scene of the crime, but New York courts ruled that he was part of the conspiracy that resulted in the shooting death of a man in 2006. Wow. They said Max B received 75 years sentence after being pinned in the conspiracy. However, after going back to the drawing board in this case, Max charges have since been reduced to manslaughter, and his sentence is 12 years. This is what happens, man. Chili Ali, rapper. He was released in 2012, but he was locked up in 2001. Bum J, G Dep. Everybody know G Dep from Bad Boy. Still locked up. Former Bad Boy record signing G-Dep was found guilty in 1993 murder of a Queensbred man named John Heckle. As the story goes, back in 2010, G-Dep walked into a New York police department. Do y'all remember this? And he basically confessed of a killing that he did in 1993. Now, I don't know about doing all that, but yeah. So he was linked to the murder, and he's still locked up. BG has stayed in jail. This is a theme. This is what I'm saying. Like I see this for DaBaby's future. We saw this before. BG's been locked up for years, on and off. Young Turk. Everybody knows what Shine did. Shine shot somebody. He was with Jenny from the block. And Diddy. Flesh and Bone was locked up. So many rappers, man. Remy Ma shot somebody. You remember that? Remy Ma was locked up for what? A couple years. She shot one of her friends in the stomach in an argument. Bobby Smurder just got out. I mean, we get the picture here, man. I get the picture. There's nothing good is about to happen with this guy. Nothing. He is the modern day Tupac, if you ask me. This was like the last time Tupac was seen on Earth during this Tyson fight. This was the Tyson fight in the backstage. And this is Tupac. Tupac wanted to be this tough guy. He couldn't even send his goons out there. He went and beat up a shooter. If anybody know in the hood, there's shooters out there, and you don't mess with them because they will shoot you. And most people are scared to testify. We have this thing called not snitching, and so they're probably going to get away with it. And he was a known guy for shooting. The crazy thing is the media put out this conspiracy of Tupac being alive all those years. This is Tupac leaving, but he was dead. He's pretty much dead on arrival. He was dead. He got shot and he lived for like 6 days. And when the cops tried to talk to him, he stuck the middle finger up at him and said, "F you." That's who Tupac is. That's who it is. And let me show you this now, because this guy's going. He Somebody needs to pray for this guy. He has a timeline of getting in trouble. And if you look, like I said, if you go to my community section, you could check out the video. Tell me what you think. But that Walmart shooting, did not look like it was self defense. He's actually attacking people. Did you see when he attacked the guy recently? One of his staff. I mean, not staff, but one of his artists. He punched him in the face. I didn't put it up here, but he punched the guy in the face. Just charged him. Like, what is wrong with this dude? Is he on something? It's like he just don't care. And it's a shame because he's very, 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 very talented guy. But you just go punch somebody, you just punch your artist with cameras around, don't even care. That's ridiculous. This is it's like he's gonna no. I mean, hopefully he don't get locked up or get killed. But look at this. This is the timeline, according to Billboard, of the baby's controversies. So basically, he killed a teenager in a Walmart, which he charged. If you look at that video, in my opinion, it was not self-defense. So in October 2018, the rapper was involved in a deadly shooting inside a Walmart in Huntsville, North Carolina, a suburb outside of Charlotte. When officers arrived at the scene, they discovered the boys of a body of a 19-year-old. And days later, it was announced that the baby was one of the four people detained for questioning. I don't understand. From watching that video, I'm surprised he's not locked up. He must got some powerful, powerful people in his label because he should be locked up for that one. That was not self defense, in my estimation. Um, the rapper alleged that Craig and another man had robbed him with brandishing a weapon and threatened his family. I didn't see that on the video. I just saw him charging. Now, if there's another angle, then I would be wrong. But the angle that I saw, I did not see that. I saw the baby charge him, start fighting, and then he pulled the gun out. So maybe there's some other situation. I don't know. While the baby was initially charged with murder, the charges were eventually lowered to a misdemeanor of carrying a concealed weapon after security footage from inside Walmart collaborated his story that he was forced to kill the teenager in self-defense. Now, like I said, maybe they had a different angle, but I ain't see it on that video. Let me know what y'all think when y'all saw that video. Another situation he had in 2020, the baby was detained and questioned for his connection to a robbery investigation. According to TMZ, the rapper and multiple members of his crew jumped a music producer for only paying him $20,000 out of 30,000 that was owed to him in Miami performance. He thinks he's Suge Knight. This little dude think he's Suge Knight. The reports alleged DaBaby stole a credit card and an iPhone 7 and $80 from the promoter, but he was not charged with the robbery. After spending 48 hours at the Miami County Jail, the, the rapper was released. This is the thing. He hits the female. Like we could keep going on. I just hope he changes it. What y'all think? I don't know. I don't know. But he's the Tupac of this era for sure. For sure. And I don't see anything good coming from this. He just don't care. I mean, like I said, he's talented, and people's gonna gravitate to him because he's making them money. That's just what's gonna happen. They gravitate to him. They're gonna make money. I mean, they did it with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson in the '80s and '90s, he was beating everybody up. He was getting in trouble, robbing people, stealing, and they kept it under wraps. They kept it under wraps because they were making money from them. Once the corporate machine cannot make money from you, that's when all the videos come out. That's when, they it's like they hold it everything back just in case you cross them. If you cross them, then they'll start putting all this information out about you. That's what they do. No question. Yeah. But that's that. What do y'all think about Ben Simmons? Now, right now, Ben Simmons is getting a lot of criticism. He's getting a lot of criticism from the media and the fans. He folded like a long chair last year with Philly. But here's the thing, and this is my opinion about uh, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has been doing this since we known him. To, he did it in LSU. He folded on his team. He gave up on his team, and basically people defended that. They said, "Look, you're going to the NBA, so you don't worry about playing the games. You're trying to get the bag." But in my opinion, he should have played. There's only 30 something games in the league. I mean, in college, most people don't get hurt in college. Not an NBA player. No, I can see that playing football because football is such a violent sport.
Here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice, not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
See, I don't understand this. Like he's such a punk, if you will, like soft dude. You go to Philly and you were scared to shoot because you can't shoot. You don't work on your game like you say you do. I don't understand about NBA players. Like all you do is get paid to shoot. There's people back in the '60s who had to work a job and play basketball, and they can shoot better than you. And you got everything. You got the facility. Everybody giving you, you got a gym. You got uh, people spend millions of dollars on their bodies, and you can't shoot a free throw, a 15 feet free throw with pressure on you. I don't understand it. You get paid millions of dollars. No one ever got paid like this before, and you can't shoot. You can't shoot a layup, really? These players, I tell you, these players today are weak, 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 weak. But anyway, he's been doing this for a while. No one can trust him. Like one thing about leadership, right? If you are a leader, which he's never been in his life that I've watched, you can't be. You have to gain trust with your teammates. You got to gain trust if you're doing business, whatever. They have to be able to trust you. So you begged your way to get out of there. I don't know if this is a clutch sports situation because clutch sports is not looking good right now with their top agents. He ain't playing, AD's always getting hurt. I think John Walls were there and he ain't play, and they're just collecting his money. I heard Stephen A. Smith say something that they're probably working on, and they're going to call it the Ben Simmons deal because these people are getting free money for not playing. The Kawhi Leonard, Wall, and I think they're going to change the whole system because of what he's doing, and they should. I don't think you should get paid if you're not going to play. Now, he said his back is hurting, and I understand. When you have your back hurt, that's a really bad thing. Nobody. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. But however, you need to play. You're in the playoffs, man. Quit folding. You wanted to play in the NBA if you're trying to be a superstar. You know. You said you want to be a superstar. You want to come over. If you weak like that, then go back to Australia. It's crazy how soft these dudes are, and they're allowing it now. Like I said, if they took their money, if they got docked, they would be playing. You remember when they wanted to sit out because one of those guys got shot. It wasn't George Floyd. It was somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but they wanted to boycott, and the NBA was like, "Well, you ain't getting paid." Guess what? They played in that bubble. That's what they need to do, straight up and down. This dude is a chump. He ain't play a game yet, and your team right now needs you. Your team needs you right now, and you're not willing to play. Unbelievable. I just can't believe it. They're down three, and you should have played last game. See, the thing about it is, Willis Reed was playing for the New York Knicks, and he was hurt in the finals, and he ain't couldn't really play, but he came out there and played, scored the first 4 points and left, and that fired the crowd up. That fired the players because they was like, "Look, you looking out, bruh. I know you hurt and you still play." Willis Reed, shout out to Willis Reed for doing that. He's no Willis Reed though. He's a chump. He's just stealing money. You scared of Philly? You scared of Embiid? When you came back this year, you walked out of practice. Doc Rivers, you scared of them? And then you go to this new team and you probably don't talk to nobody. You couldn't have a relationship with none of them, dude. I don't see it. I don't see that happening. Now, according to the New York Post, Reggie Miller rips the Nets for missing game four when they needed you, bro. Reggie Miller didn't even need 9 seconds to destroy him. Miller, who famously scored 8 points in the final 9 seconds of a playoff game, is I remember watching that too. That was dope. Is the Pacers stunned the Knicks in 1995. He dropped another postseason hammer on New York this time. Miller, an analyst for TNT, used Twitter instead of his 3 point shot to send a message after the Brooklyn Nets ruled out Simmons. Game four. Come on, man. Miller wrote, with the Nets on the verge of elimination. Out for game four. When it was rumored you were going to make your debut. This dude has zero competitive fire in him. Fire emoji. And it's the truth. He don't care about nobody but himself. And I don't feel sorry for nobody on that team. This is all the doing. Well, not this part. It's not them. But the team, the way the team is structured, is all Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant stated that they didn't need a coach. That's what he said. He's like him and Kyrie was like, we don't need a coach. We could, you coach one day, I coach one day. You do this, I do that, and it's not working. You can't make adjustments like that. You need one leader. As small of a chance the Nets have to come back in the series, Miller, an NBA Hall of Famer, wrote over a photo of Simmons in street clothes. They're gonna have to start calling this dude street clothes as well. It seems like everybody on Clutch Sports is on street clothes. They name street clothes. Do anybody see the theme? John Wall ain't playing. I think he's on there. AD's always hurt. And then this guy. You still have KD, Kyrie, and all you need is one game to take it over, take it from there. So yeah, it is right now. You are at a point where you're from game to game. Take one game at a time, but it's not going to happen. This is why. This dude. This dude is not a leader. He is not.
You know how strong he is. You can't win.
He can't win. He's weak. He's a weak, skinny guy, 7 foot dude, had no leadership in him. Never did. If you just watch him. Everybody say, oh, he's the most skilled player you ever saw in my life. He's very good. Yes. He's a very good player. But he has no leadership skills because he played with great players. And we can say understandably when he was playing for Oklahoma, he had James Harden and they had a great team. They were really young though. They were early 20s. And we get it. We can get that, right? But you was almost over the hump. You lost 3-1 to Golden State. You had one game to win and you couldn't do it. So how you gonna tell me can you win four straight with this team? You haven't done that all year. And y'all your team played with so many different lineups. They're not gelling. This is gonna take a little bit of time um to gel, but he's a softy, man. All he want to do is play basketball. I don't think he even talked to his team. Anytime things is down, he ain't confronting anybody for making a mistake or nothing like that. He just want to play ball. That's his motto. But this is his kryptonite, if you will. He acts sissy-ish. Such a female, man. Where's your father? You should be kissing your mom on the lips like that right now, man. Come on, get a room.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we're talking about practice, not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
This is what this dude doing. He's so weak. He's looking at this picture like, yeah, please, man. Look, I know you beat me 3-1. You mind if you got any room over there? And Steph Curry's like, well, I give you a chance. You ran out on Steph Curry. I was winning. Which y'all won two. I think y'all went back to back. I think, and then you lost to Toronto because a lot of y'all were hurt. You had that Achilles issue, but that's why Steph Curry ain't taking no other athlete. He's like LeBron trying to get over there. He's like, nah, cuz I ain't trying to do that. We ain't doing that no more. I saw what I went through with this prima donna. I ain't doing that again. We got a good thing going. And it wasn't because of players, it was because of the management. This dude he runs to try to get a ring because he's such a punk. He can't handle himself. He can't be a leader. He had to go to another team. And then when he couldn't get the credit over there, he couldn't get the credit over here. He had to run again. Oh, I'm gonna just go to Brooklyn. And then he go here and it didn't work because you have no leadership. You have none. No leadership whatsoever. So James Harden didn't want to play with you. He's like, you gonna let Kyrie not play? And I came over here to try to team up with y'all? And then y'all ball hogging. All y'all play is ISO, which he loves playing ISO too, but he had to get out of there. And this is the downfall right here. Look at this. I hurt now. This team is been playing number one defense. They were the number one defense since January. Boston. So they've been gelling all year. They've been playing together all year. They trust each other. There's trust there. But then this guy right here, that's all you do is play ISO ball, and I believe he might be hurt a little bit, but I'm not going to give him excuses, Kevin Durant. But all you do is ISO, so they're just doubling you. You have more, almost more turnovers than you got makes. You have 19 field goals and 17 turnovers. Need smacked for that. How you gonna call yourself a superstar if you ain't averaging more than 25, 30 points in the series? And if they're doubling you, that should be easier for you because somebody's open. You're tall enough to see. I don't think you should even be dribbling the ball out. Let's say you are a little bit banged up. Most players are around this time. You should be playing in the block. Someone can, you can't dispute this, people. You should be playing in the block. Give the ball to you. They're going to double you. Somebody's going to be open. Move the daggone ball, Boston. I mean, the Nets don't move the ball. All you do is play ISO basketball. Now, if you were Michael, you could feel the defense right here. If they coming towards the to the inside, he could fade to the outside and make the shot, or he could fade to the inside, or he could like the thing about uh basketball is not meant to be not 5-on-5. It is not meant to be staying still watching one person play. You can win a lot of games. You can win a lot of games. You can get 50 games, 60 games. I mean, LeBron did it. But when it comes to playoff basketball, you're not going to beat teams that move the ball. Shout out to Tex Winters. People need smack for that, for you not moving the ball. So he's holding the ball to the last minute, like LeBron was doing, and get to the hole and he just kick it out. Last minute, last couple seconds of the shot clock. So anyway, this is a mess, and I'm a fan of Kyrie for his stance, not so much the player because he's a ball hog too. You can't have two ball hogs on a team and y'all just trying to make things happen. You got to pass the ball. This is the same people that said they don't need a coach. That's why you pick Steve Nash, because Steve Nash is not going to put you to the fire. He don't have any respect, and you want to get him to lose his job on his first year because y'all about to get swept. I hope they don't. I hope they can come back. I really do. But y'all are weak. Y'all got Drummond on the bench. He ain't doing nothing. Maybe his career is done, but he's not providing any rebounds. Blake Griffin looked like a shell of himself. This team is overall bad. And for Simmons to not try to help, that's a shame. Simmons sitting there looking like a freaking pimp on the sideline when your team needs you. Your team freaking needs you. So my prediction, they might lose tonight. I mean, if you're gonna lose hard, man. Like I always hear, if you're gonna do something big, do it big. If you're gonna be the bum, be the biggest bum in the world. So just get swept, man, because your team is sorry. They need to blow this team up, and really, if they can, they should get rid of Ben Simmons. Who made that trade? Did you not have a conversation with him? But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all guys go, man. It's a beautiful day out here in South Georgia. If you haven't already, definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also support the channel. I appreciate all the donations that I received. Um, hit that super chat up, man. If you like what I'm saying, also hit that cash app, baby. Y'all have a good rest of the day.